So why does it matter where you get the bones from for your bone stock? Why does it matter where the animal came from or what the farmer fed that animal? We're gonna go to the farmer's market here in Seattle and talk to Brent Olsen of Olsen Farms and my friend Clara, who is a naturopathic physician. Let's go. Yeah, I'm really partial to Brent's lamb chops. I really like them. They're so tiny, but they're so good. Action. Why do you like Brent's pork?
Well, I like it because it's available to us when we don't have ours. But I'll say this.
Oh, you're a pork farmer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But
cheater, pumpkin eater.
But as I understand it, Brent's pigs are raised in a very great way, and they are like the grain and everything's grown by him and his pal right there on the spot. So it's like you harvest it and you just throw it to the pigs and they eat it just like that.
The barley and the stuff that you feed them, is that grown like organically? How do you deal with that?
We're not certified organic producers, so no, but for the most part everything's like low input. All the crops are rotated from either, go from wheat to peas to barley. So it's got a good rotation.
You bring in your grains?
We buy it in, yes. So it's less sustainable. Like, what if something happened to our supply chain? Then no more piggies for us. And then Brent takes over and just crushes the rest of us.
You guys help each other out?
Yeah, we do.
We know each other for a long time.
Mm-hmm. I slept over at his place the other night.
That's not what this video is about. This video is about farming. So Clara, does that matter for health?
Well, it really does. As a naturopathic physician, my patients always ask me about quality. And a lot of people are taking bone broth, for example, these days. So one of the things I wanted to ask you is, bone broth we take for minerals, magnesium, calcium, phosphorus, for glucosamine, for collagen. And I wonder if these animals that you raise have a better quality of nutrients or perhaps more.
I haven't really tested for that. I would like to think that the quality's there.
On the flip side, sometimes it's just as important to think about what's not in that animal as opposed to what's in it. A lot of these animals, we have these basic building blocks, but when you add antibiotics and other toxins and chemicals that from the feed, then it gets spread into the animal and often in the fat stores. So that's one of the things that I wanted to point out to the people making bone broth and consuming a lot of it on a weekly basis.
We just like to stress low stress on the animals, so they've got plenty of food, plenty of water, shade, stuff to play, keep interested.
What are the health benefits of bone broth?
Oh, they're numerous. First of all, as I just said, it's very high in minerals. We are a mineral deficient society, so magnesium, calcium, phosphorus, potassium, all these things are really important for bone density, for skin. Collagen is incredibly high in bone broth. Skin and connective tissue all around.
Part of the reason that I wanted to do this video about bone broth is because when my dog was 2 years old, she was diagnosed with an autoimmune disorder that they thought was probably lupus and wanted to put her on steroids. And I, at least at that point, that was 7-ish years ago, knew enough to say 2-year-old dog getting an autoimmune disorder just seems a little off. So why don't I try her diet before we put her on prednisone? And it was chicken stock that saved her, really.
And one of the other things that bone broth does is it heals the gut, right? If we don't heal our gut, we're not going to absorb these nutrients anyways. And we find that all the minerals and all the compounds in bone broth really help to calm the gut itself and to strengthen the lining of the gut.
So does it surprise you that my dog took to that as well as she did?
It's going to affect animals of all kinds, humans, animals. These nutrients are really important, especially for autoimmune conditions. We find a lot of connection between the use of a higher mineral and a higher nutrient diet.
Have a simpler way of just like, well, this just seems to make sense how to raise the animals, and then the follow-up to that was like, yeah, how complicated our bodies are, and the uptakes and intakes, and the science behind that is very interesting.
It is interesting.
Yeah.
So you didn't really know any of that stuff?
No, not to, I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm just the farmer, I don't know anything. But it was, no, as far as, my sister's a chemist, and I understand like how, things, but a lot of times when I'm out there, here I don't come back to really think about that, and I appreciate everybody's here shopping and acknowledging that, but sometimes it's nice to just hear. It's like, this is a good thing.
Believe in this concept called reciprocity, right? If we want good, we have to give good. It's reciprocal. Everything we do, that's a really universal law. And so I think it's great what you're doing, and I really appreciate it. And I really appreciate highlighting your efforts to our local community.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm gonna buy some because that's why I met Brent, because I just started buying his stuff.
Maybe you have a recommendation. I'm gonna make some bone broth. So do you have anything that I can use to put in my big slow cooker with leftover vegetables that I have?
I've got a selection of lamb bones.
Perfect. I love lamb.
I think we've got pork and beef. I've got them either marrow bones, and then or knuckle bones. More like more like connect.
Yeah, I'm gonna take some of those knuckle bones.
Say bye, Brent.
Bye. Thank you.
You're supposed to say
Appreciate it.
bye, Brent.
Oh, bye, Brent.
Bye, Brent.